So in routing previously we had seen how to configure the route, then how to configure the child route, how to um, add that on HTML, how we can navigate with the help of the navigation bar. So these all things. Okay. So next in the routing itself, we will cover 2 or 3 classes more because somewhat deep concepts are there. So we will today look over the query parameter in the Angular route. Maybe I think who all had attended the interview, maybe sure they got the somewhat questions on this also, because mostly they are asking this concept. So what is the query parameter actually? So see, when we are passing route, okay, maybe you will see in some of the websites like here itself. So you will see that. So products is there. Okay, something we got myself, then product. So on product page, we are getting some of the data that become the all data. But suppose if I want some particular data, like previously what we were doing, we was getting the product detail from the e-commerce. I want just one data. I showing you one thing. Wait. Yeah. So what happened? We got some data who have ID 1, then ID second, then maybe somewhere ID third, then fourth, fifth, like that. But I not want all data. Okay. When you are going in the Amazon website and if you searching there something like sort by, or you adding filter by, those all condition, even suppose best seller or something like that. Okay. So what we are doing, we are passing some query there. See that query reference nav cs best sellers. Okay. When we suppose we want to do some activity, here it not getting. Okay. Suppose I want to purchase something. So here you getting that some of the query, like something is going on here. See in the last section, what you getting, BRR equal to 1 and there is AND operator. Then RD equal to 1. Something like that. Then suppose I want to filter out low to high. Then maybe somewhere in this area itself, you will get some means that URL got changed on that basis. Maybe see that it's showing price ascending. Yeah, see that ASC means it's a taken something parameter like a parameter price ascending, then something is there different. So what these all and how they are passing this value, that is the main thing. And once they pass the value, how they understanding that that this have to display. Like now come to this data, here we having product 1 means ID 1, ID 2, ID 3, like different data are there. Okay, but I not want this complete data. I want just ID 1, or I want data having 1 or 2, 3, 4, whatever. So what we have to do, we have to pass here one extra parameter. Suppose I passing just 1. What will happen? Let's see. So what we got? We got the data having ID as just 1. Correct? But if we passing here ID 11, so we will get data who have ID as 11. So what these all are going? Now we got the data who has ID as 11, but we will not get any more data except this ID, because we had passed that we want this data only. Suppose I want this this title one. Let's see whether we are getting or not. I have not idea. If API will be there, then sure we will get. If API not there, then I not thinking. Yeah, so API is not there for this one. Means we can get data on the basis of the product ID. Okay, so this is known as the query parameter. Means whatever you getting there, this section, last of that, because on the same URL, already we know that how to create a router. Okay, so by creating the same router, we are getting complete product detail. See that on this URL itself, on the product URL, we getting complete product data. We will get it getting slow. We got a complete data, but when we passing on this same URL by /1 or 2, 3, 4, whatever, then we are getting just particular that data. But next question, when we not passing anything like this 1, 2, anything, and on the same URL, we getting that data. Why we not getting that error? Because that suppose we passed here /25, then in the router section, this type URL have to be there. Like suppose we previously we created a URL like parent, then students, then myself, then product. Then what I planning? I thinking that URL should have to like that. Then only data will match. Correct or not? Getting? Means we should have multiple URL like this format, like 2, then some URL will be like 1. Means just do one thing like this type of. So this have to be 2, then this have to 3, then this have to 4, this have to 5, like this. Getting my doubt or not? So our URL have to be like this. Then only when we are searching any product or anything, so that time data have to came like that type. Correct or not? But now just imagine if you have 1 lakhs of data, what you will do? You will create this URL 1 lakh time, because now we are searching on the basis of the ID. Suppose tomorrow we searching on the basis of the product, means different category wise. So what we have to do? We have to pass this ID, then sometime for the product, then sometime for the different category. You can imagine one thing, if you have lakhs of the record, suppose today I know in our database 1 lakh record. Okay, but we don't know tomorrow maybe 500 more data came. What we'll do? We have to change the code for the 500 new record. 1 lakh record is now. Okay, and tomorrow came 500 new record, means your URL route will become 1.5 lakh, whatever 5,000 or 5 or whatever is there, no issue. But it should have to be like this type. Correct or not? Now just imagine the page size and even the data, because we are not sure, maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow itself 200 more record will come. Then what we will do? Per day we have to work on the same project, and even we have to change on the some different file, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever different files are there, we have to change. It become too much tedious task. So what is their option? Option is the query parameter. Okay, we have to pass this as a query, means 1, 2, 3, 4, or even product name or whatever you want. On the basis of search you want, on the basis of that, what we have to do? We have to pass the query parameter, that is known as the query. So here, while routing creation itself, we have to pass the query parameter. Okay. So I have one second here, something was so I have two route. First, I will take one route that is known as the product. Okay, I had created the component, actually product component. First, I will go through that whatever we going to make in the code. Then I will go through the documentation. So what we will do, we will create one route. Okay, like a path component, just normal route. There is no anything new. And same thing we will add in our navigation bar section also. Where is navigation bar? This is my navigation bar. Okay, so here I added that section product. So once this path will got matched, we will get the data. Okay, what data we will get? Just let it to be. Just now go to the code. Yeah, so now you have product URL. Now go to the home. Now the URL become home. Okay, now change on the product. So now we got the product URL. Next, what we will do? Go to the code of the product component, because here we are fetching the product component. Where is that? Okay, so here let it remove this. So here product component, nothing we had added. Just there is one router. Okay, but something we had written extra there. Let's write that one more time. So generally, how we are writing? We are writing the anchor tag, and then we are passing, let it to be router link itself directly. Router link. Anchor tag, then we have to pass here router link. Router link, okay, equal to what we were doing. Any idea? Suppose I have to display product. What we have to do? Hello? No one have idea how to create router?
Right there, path name, sir.
Path name. Okay. Let's go to the path name first. So path name is product. Like this. Correct. And now we have to pass here something. Just write something. Let's save. So we got the data. Okay. When we will click on this, we getting something here. This type, what we will do, we will configure the route. But while creating a route itself, we have to pass the query. Okay, we have to pass the query that time itself. So how we will pass the query, and that query will come in the URL. See that query have to come in the URL section. Okay, so what we will do, we will create that route and we will pass that query. So how to pass that query? Now the problem is that one. So what we will do, we will take this as a property binding. Okay. Take this as a property binding, and whatever route we are writing here, the same route we will pass inside the property binding also. We'll pass in, sorry. Slash and this one. Next, query. So second line will be query placeholder. Here we will pass the query. So this is like a product one. Just I will comment that line itself. So what we had done, this is belonging to the product 1. Okay, so this become product 1. Here I passing the query as 1. Okay, and now there is second one. Here be passing product, and after that we are passing as a query 2. So what will happen when we will click this line, means this anchor tag, or when we will click this button? Now see the difference. This is coming in the anchor tag. This line is with the anchor tag, but the second line is with the button. Okay, so how we can add router with the button and anchor tag? Both things is available here. After that, we had passed 1 and 2 just for the query side. So we will get the data of 1 or even data of 2, like that we had done. So next, what we will do, when we will click this button 1 or even button 2, okay, then something happen. What will happen? Let's see. Just 1 second. Comment this one and this also. Now see what will happen. So actually, what will happen here, when we click the product 1 or either product 2, it will match which route? Product route, correct? In the app routing section, it will match for the product route. But what we are passing here exactly? We are passing product only, or we are passing something? Let's do one thing. Remove this. Now see, when we will click on product 1, we will get the product. Let's see what we getting. Click on the product 1. Nothing is happening because we are getting the product only. And on the product section, we are not getting any data. So I will do one thing. I will add here. I added here all product. Okay. Now go to some other component. So now I am on myself. Go to product. What is the URL? URL is product. So on product, which page I have to navigate? On product, we will get this route. Correct? This product section have to navigate. But now what I trying to do? I trying to pass some query, that product 1, product 2, like that type. So how to pass the query? So put comma, pass here 1. Now tell me whether that this product route will work or not. This product route will work or not? What you thinking? We will get error or it will work as usual? Let's save. And now see. We are passing here product, and then here we passing 1. What is this one? We don't know. But see what will happen. So what happened? We got 4, not 4. Why? We got page not found error because already we had added this section in the router. What happened actually? It passed here product, okay, and here it passed 1. In the sense, when we clicked on the product, we got the product component data. From where we got the product component? From here itself. But when we clicking on the product 1, what it's searching? It's searching for some URL. Which type it going to create the URL? It going to create URL become like this type product, and after that it's searching for the 1. From where this one came? This one came from here. This is your query, because previously how we was passing the route, we were just passing directly this one. Let's check this route whether it's working fine or not. because now we are not passing any parameter. This is our old technique which we are doing. So when we have to pass the query parameter, when we have to pass any query, we have to write that inside the square bracket. Now let's say reload and let's see whether it's working or not. So what happened? There is no any error when I clicking on this one, means it working fine. But when we trying to pass some data here, we don't take this one. When we trying to pass some data here, this become your query side. Like here we had passed this 2. Okay. Here we was passing 2 or 1 or 3, 4, whatever. It's different. So that become your query because the value of this 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it's on this place. So this is known as the query. As like that, we have two product 1 and product 2. I want when we clicking on product 1 or click on product 2, we want product 1 or when we will get the data, so that time this will come directly from the data side from ng-for.
Hello, sir.
Okay. So next. Hello. Yeah.
Sir. Your voice breaking, sir.
Now also.
Nice.
Or is it
Now,
fine?
sir, fine. It is fine, sir.
Okay. So actually what we have to do here, we have to pass here query. This is known as the query. But now the problem, how we will configure this query in the route side? Because here we are passing the data, but how we will configure in the route side? So from that side also, it's very simple. What we will do, we have to just pass one exclamation slash and colon and just ID or something, just we will give ID. Tomorrow we will know why we passing ID or even product name or something, anything we can do. That's not the compulsory that ID only, you can pass anything there. Okay. But what we will do here, we retain complete above route itself. See that product, we retain the same. After that, we had given here slash and colon ID. What will happen now if we will search for that, if we will pass 1, you know how the route will get created here. Let's see. This type your route will get created. Now, when we will click on this URL, product 1 or either product 2, your router will got changed. Product, and after that you will get here 1 or either 2 or either 3, whatever will be. This will got changed. Means whatever be passing after this colon symbol, it will vary. It's not fixed. Take any dynamic. It going to take any dynamic data. Okay, means the value will be not hard coded. So this type, what is the benefit of dynamic? Even don't know tomorrow. Why this much it's breaking? Now is it fine or it's breaking?
Yes, sir, it's fine, sir.
Okay, so this is that's a way. The benefit of query parameter is it going to load your data and change the route dynamically. Okay, so now let's verify. So what we will do, we will try to click on the button, because whatever button we had designed on the HTML side, this page, let's remove this, it's not used. Now see, now click on the product 1, what we got in the URL, see there, product 1. Click on the product 2, what we got product 2. Had we created anywhere that product to this type the URL? Because if this coming means sure that a router somewhere router we have created something like that we have to do. Correct or not? But we not doing anything. Do one thing. Remove this pass one. What are you thinking? Is this will work?
Yes, sir.
It will work in both scenario or one scenario?
Both scenarios.
Both scenario. Okay. What about others?
I think one scenario,
Which scenario?
only one.
Okay, one. Okay.
Sir, I
What about
think
others?
one, sir.
One. Okay, let's verify. So see, in the case of 2 itself, we got 404. Pass 1. We got the data. It's nothing. But now, just we will go with the help of the click itself. Let's click on product 1. We got product 1. Correct? Next, click product 2. URL got product 2. But what about this 404? Why this came 404? Because when it's searching for route, this one, 2, there is no any URL with name as 2 because we had created that route hard coded value product 1. But when we clicking on the button, what it passing as query? It passing 2. But where is the route? 2. It's not there, correct? But suppose if I want, we can create that. Just make it 2. Let's see now. It will work. Now see, even the product 2 is there, you're not getting 404. Means click this product 1, check the URL, product 1, click on product 2. We got product 2, there is no any error. Means what we done, we created this product 1, product 2. Now just imagine tomorrow you have just a 50 record itself. How many time you have to make this? 50 time. You getting the issue. It become 50 time hard coded value. Correct or not? Like this much. Now just imagine this much will be just only one URL. Suppose tomorrow you going to work on the e-commerce product. It become too much lengthy. So that type itself, that's why what we are doing, we are passing the query parameter. And how we are passing that query parameter, we have to pass here just colon and ID. That's it. Clear? Then what happened? Just save whatever value it will come here. It's not the matter whether route is matching or not. So it's going to take that dynamic data due to the ID. Now let's see. Now we have product 1. Data got changed. Product 2, we got the value. Next, if you have multiple ID, okay, this query parameter, suppose that tomorrow it's coming multiple. What you can do? You can pass multiple time. Suppose that tomorrow it's coming name. NAME. Name also. Sorry, 1 second. Name. Okay. I can pass the name also there. It's not an issue. So how we can pass? Let's pass here itself in the product. I want to pass like this. Let's save. So what it will search? It will search for two query parameter. It will take one and then it will take the search also. Means the ID, the route, the URL become like this type. Let's see whether it's working or not. So now it's not working for the product 2 case. Why? Because we have the multiple. Correct. Let's pass for this also. But I think for that product 1, it have to work. Let's see. For product 1, what we got? We got 1 and search both. So in the Amazon website or even in any website, when you will search anything, see that what URL came? One came mobile, sorry, one came HFC, then mobile. Copy this URL. See this URL. How it got rectified? HFC, because this is your base URL, Amazon.in. After that HFC and then mobile recharge. Means this value, it's changing dynamically. Okay, because here we passing that multiple data. So same thing, what we had done, we passed multiple route. Anyone having issue up to here? Tell me. Why we passing this that query parameter? What is the need? If you got or not, just whatever, that's tell me. Next thing. Remove this one. Okay. Let's comment this line. Now save, yeah. What happened? Why it coming error? Oh, slash is there. Product one, product two. Fine. What I was telling. Yeah, got it. So now when we clicking on the product one and even product two, what we getting? We getting the product component data itself. But I want to get different data on different selection. Okay, like if I clicking on the product, means a product and ID one, ID by, I want some different data like e-commerce component is there. I have already. Okay, so what I done that when I will pass this product ID, I want to load the e-commerce component. Let's see whether it's loading or not. How it's working. Take care in the URL section. Now see what is the URL? Product and one, but we getting the complete product and URL got a change. Means URL become like 1, 2, 3, 4, but our component got changed. Now go back. Click on the product 2. Again, the same data is getting loaded. Product 2. Got it? Like this type, it's not that we will load that particular component itself. We can even change the component. We can pass any component. Got it? Up to here, having any issue? Tell me.
No, sir.
No issue?
Nice.
See, if you're not getting any point, just speak. Because these topics are too much important. Okay, that's why. Okay, next. Whatever we doing actually, we are getting that we are getting the output in the URL section. But suppose if I want to fetch this data, this whatever 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever is there in the URL, this one query parameter, I want to get that. Then how we will get that? Because once you will get this data, that type means on that basis itself, you can display the product, means output. Suppose this is your one. Okay, what we doing in here? It's taking 2. Okay, it's taking 2. Then only we had got this ID 2 result. If suppose here this become 3, we will get the third ID. ID will be 3. Let's see. We got that output of the ID 3. But how they are fetching the data? They fetching data only whatever URL is there in the URL section. From this URL, they are getting this one. And in the array, we can compare. If ID equal to 3, you have to display this data. If ID equal to 4, you have to display the fourth record. ID equal to 5, you have to display that record. Or even if a title equal to something, you have to display that particular record. Got it? Means our next requirement is whatever URL, whatever data you get in that URL section, data in the sense this query parameter. Why be passing query parameter? That is next question. So why be passing query parameter? On the query basis, we can fetch the data. Okay, because in the database we are getting the record, but with the help of some particular query value, on the basis of query, we can get the record. That's why we are passing that. So what I want, next option, next requirement, whatever we are passing here, I want to fetch that and I want to display on my UI, or whether I want to do something on the TypeScript page regarding like matching or something, but I want to fetch because now we are passing that output in the URL section. So how we will do? Let's see. Go to the TypeScript page and so here we have to do one import section. Take care on in the mind. Okay, we will import one activated route. What it will do? It will go and search for the activated route, whatever route is there in this URL. Okay, so we have to import that activated route, then only it will work. Once we will import this activated route, and from where we have to import? From the Angular router. See that this same Angular router we imported in the this also Angular router in the app routing component means a module. Okay, so here we have to import activated route, and in the activated route we will, and what we will do after import, we have to inject in the constructor. We have to write that. We have to write that activated route. So this is known as the dependency injection. We will learn this thing in the service, that this is known as the injection. Okay, mostly where we are writing the query or logic or anything in the constructor section inside the curly braces here. Correct. Always we are writing inside this curly braces, but for the dependency injection, for the injection purpose, okay, where we will write inside this parenthesis. So what we will write? First we have to write this activated route. So let's write that ACTIVA. Oh, why it not coming? ACTIVA. Activated route. Okay, and we have to make the object, means we have to pass one variable also. So colon, and same thing we will write, but always naming convention is something that if you take in this original value, you have to make this a first letter as a small. This type we are passing the naming convention. Otherwise, both will got match each other. Okay, that's why we will do like this. And second line here, we will pass a public. Got it? Like this type, we have to inject that. We have to inject, and after that we have to use this activated route method. So what is our requirement? Our requirement is whatever URL section having query. Okay, I want this whatever we passed here in the query section, I want to get that. So how we will get that? So for getting that, we have to write somewhere in the method. Okay, we can write separate method also. We can write inside this constructor also. we can write inside this ng on in it also. Anywhere, it's not an issue. What we will do, we will write that and we will get that. So here actually I had written actually that one. I will explain this code. So this dot product here make variable. Let's uncomment this. And what we had done. So here this dot activated route, this variable. Let me write that, otherwise wait. How we writing? See. So first we will take the variable. Which variable? This injected variable. Okay. So ACTI activated route. This dot activated route. Put a dot. After dot, you will get more number of methods. What we have to take? We have to take snapshot. We will see two method actually. So we will take here snapshot. Okay. So activated route dot snapshot dot. Here again here we have to pass here param map. Param map, then dot, and we will do get method. And what we passing there? What we was passing? This 1, 2. Whatever we had written here. What was this? Whether ID, name, what is that? How we will get? How we will know that whether this is ID or even name or serial number? How we will know? So we will know that with the help of the routing. Where is the routing? Routing module. Because in routing module, what we had written? We had written here ID. So that become the ID. If we will write here name, this become the name. Like that we have to write. Okay. So whatever we passed in the this section, routing section, this we have to pass in the gate. So we will pass here ID. Fine. And I want to display this, whatever output will come. Whatever output, whatever result we will get here, I want to display in the UI. Display on the UI. So we will make one variable. So I make one this dot product ID, and this product ID value I going to display on the where HTML section of the same product ID. Got it. Now let's see what will happen. So see now, I not want this one. So this become our normal route, correct? This is our normal route. Now pass the query. How much query we passing? We passing here 1. So we got here 1. Now pass 2. What happened? We got 2 here. But what is the output here? 1. Let's say reload the page. What happened? We got the 2. Why? Now click on 1. What happened? We got the 1. But why it's not changing? It's keeping the same. It's not going to change. This is the demerit. Okay, we will discuss on that also. But this is the demerit. But one thing we observed that whatever URL we are passing, whatever value we are passing in the URL section, we getting that here. Clear? How we got that? Let's one time quick revision. We passing here some value as a query parameter. Previously we was passing here something. Pass that SHIRT. Don't pass shirt. Pass here TESEHER, teacher. Okay, and pass here slash PSTUDENT, a student, and go to this section and configure the route also. Here PERSON, person. That's it. Let's check that now. Click on that product 1. Oh my God, what happened? Something mistake. Product component person.
सर वहाँ पे तो पैरामीटर
Sir,
भी गेट
right
कर रहे हैं
there,
ना.
teacher, sir.
Colon. No, colon bad mistake. Just wait. Yeah, now click on the product. What we got here? We got 1 and a teacher, correct? Now click on 2. We got 2 a student. So this thing. Next, do here get all. Let's see. But get all, what it's showing error. A string is not unable to. Okay, means here we have to pass array type. I think symbol. Get all name string. Okay, comma. What was that? Person. person. No, that will be inside a string. Inside array. We will pass multiple. Let it to be this one. Let's just verify one time. That person or persons? What is that? Person itself. Yeah. We getting error there actually. person. Person, no, it's giving error. Let's see whether we getting ID or not. No, we not getting that one. Any idea, Dharmender, how to get that one?
सर हमको पूरा राउटर में कंफ्यूजन है. 2-3 दिन से क्लास नहीं कर पाया.
That I will look later. That I will check one time how to get. For right now, just remove. See, this is most important topic actually. Okay, that's why it's taking too much time. 1 second. What is the mistake? Maybe written here. We had done, I think, here itself. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, got it. ID person person. Now we will get the person one. That time I had done mistake actually. Now this become the student because this is coming from the student. But when we are clicking on the second route, the route is getting changed, but we are not getting its data is not reflecting. We will look over that how we can resolve this issue. But up to now, having any doubt? Let's say write that get all. Get all ID comma person person. Okay, this one is giving error. Not got it. Product to city product all it to be just this is a hit and try. Just this one hit and try. Let's see. Topic already we covered. Okay, let it to be. We will see this later. Praful and Roshan, had you got today? We had discussed regarding that issue. How you will get that table of a different a student table and that student or teacher table like this type. Got it? By query parameter, we will pass that data and then we will receive that. And how we was receiving, because in URL section, your name will got changed. Okay. Your name will got changed there. And according to that, you will verify the condition, whether data is of a student or data is of teacher or parent. On that basis, you will display the table. Even you will display the form also on that basis itself, whether that is belonging to the parents form or teacher form or even a students. So whatever is there, we will display like that type. Got it? Product. Oh, there was the issue. What was the issue? Issue was when we reloading the page. Just 1 second. When we be clicking on the URL, okay, that whatever link is there, be clicking on that, be getting the data. But how many time? Just a single time, initial time. Now we got the data. This is your one. But if I will change this in the URL section, it got reloaded. We got that second one. But what about the data side? We not getting that. As much time you going to click this, you will not get the data. That is the demerit of the snapshot. Okay, this is snapshot. And in interview, yeah.
I am a little bit confused in line number 24, sir. That's activated route and snapshot.
Okay, so actually this activated route, this is inbuilt method of the Angular. Okay, with the help of this activated route, what we have to do, we will get this router side. Okay, whatever a route is there, we will get that with the help of this method. And after that, there are inbuilt method that we have to use the snapshot. When we will do that activated route dot that. Let's see here. Now, see, we getting many things: children, component, data, first child, fragment, everything you will get. Like you have multiple children. Okay, so with the help of first child, you will get that first child. Like this type, different, even the parent. So which is the parent of the route? Okay, you will get that. Then path from the root. When you will work with the database and when you have more number of query, more number of data, that time these all getting useful. Query param, root, which is the root 1. Okay, like this type we can get everything. This dot. Going to do. I don't know. So this type actually different methods are there. Okay, so these all not useful. Just we will get somewhat. That's it. But as per requirement, we can check in the Google and we can use. So what we had used now, we had used a snapshot. And what was the issue in the snapshot? And see, after a snapshot, we have to use the param map, and after param map, we will get the method that is get or get all. Different two methods are there. So this is inbuilt. Don't worry. Whenever we will use a snapshot, this is the demerit that you will get the data, you will get the output, but as much time if you want to refresh that, your URL got refreshed, but data will not get refreshed. You know, in the mobile or whether in laptop, we are taking the screenshot. Normally, we are telling take the snapshot. A snapshot means what? We taken picture at one time. Now your picture got fixed. It will not change. Now, if you taking another picture, another snapshot, that become the new snapshot, not the old one. Same thing is going to do here also. When we changing this route, product 2, we got in the URL section, but as much time I clicking that, it not refreshing. It will not it will reload or whatever it will do in the URL section, but from the data side, we getting 1. Why? Because it taken the, and see, even if we will click alternate also, see the URL, it's changing. In the URL section, data is changing, but we are not getting in the UI side. Why? Because due to the snapshot. Okay, and this is the demerit of the snapshot. What is the demerit? It not going to refresh the page. It's not going to reload the latest data. That is the issue of the snapshot. So in interview, actually, they are asking what is the snapshot. This is most important question actually. So how we will resolve this issue of the snapshot? So we will go with the second method, that is with the observables. Getting the data, we are using a snapshot and observable. So now we will go with the observable. I will explain this complete documentation. Just wait. So for the observable, what we will do? We will use some method. So we will write the same type. There is not more changes. For observable. Access using observables. Okay, so what we will do? We will take the same thing, activated route. So write that. How we will write it? ACTIVATED, activated route, this dot activated route, and we will take this product ID itself. Means that variable we will assign with that variable itself. We're not going to change anymore. Okay, so this dot activated route, why we got error? Okay, this dot activated route dot. Next, in the case of observable, we will take the method that is subscribe. We will discuss more. Wait 1 second. Oh, here we will take param map first. Okay, param map, and then we will take the method as subscribe. Okay, this one. What is this method going to do? This method going to as like subscription in the YouTube. You getting you going to subscribe the channel. What is the need of subscription of the channel? In the sense, suppose anybody is uploading per day some videos. Okay. Once you subscribe their channel, what will happen? As he will upload the video, you will get the notification. The same thing is going to happen with the subscribe method also. Same thing will happen with the subscribe method also. Now, here you will take this and inside we will pass the arrow function. See that some arrow function is there. So take some value, response equal to pass the arrow function. And what I want to verify, I want this ID. Okay, so that we will write here. Okay, so who getting the ID? RES, because on each time it will get the data. So response dot, okay, get method came and here we will pass the ID. Okay, what is the error actually? Product all, let's comment this line also. Now declare this. Okay, any fine. And the dot product, fine. Let's assign with some variable, different variable. Okay. Take this itself, not an issue. So what happened here? We had done that because each time we getting the data with the response, because already we had discussed this arrow function in the JavaScript itself. So I'm not thinking anyone having this JavaScript side issue. Maybe you will not get this query. We will see that after the output. Now come to the output side. What was the demerit previously and now? Whether the demerit is same or not. So now see, as we clicking, we getting the data. Got it? But previous case, we was clicking that, but we was not getting the data. Let's see. Comment this line first. Now see the demerit. Due to a snapshot, what it going to do? It taking the snapshot as like normal, whatever we are doing in the case of the snapshot. So we are going to take the picture. So this become taken one picture of the two. Okay. Now, as much time you will change that, URL will get changed, but your data will not change. Let's click on product one. Not URL is changing, but data is not changing. Click on product two. Product one, product two. We are changing the data. URL is changing, but UI is same. It's not going to change. Second thing, what we had done for the rectification of this issue, we had done the subscribe method. Means mostly we are telling observables. Okay, where is the observable? We will discuss that in the service case. But for the observable, for getting the output, we have to subscribe that method. So that's why we had written here subscribe, and remaining all lines is as like above itself. Let's comment this line first. So what we had done here, this dot activated route dot paramap. Okay, for right now just keep in mind this line. Actually you will get that idea slowly. Then we had done the subscription and this become your arrow function. So what is the merit and what is the demerit? That two things we had seen. So as now, if suppose in the URL, if you have to pass some query, okay, now we can pass that. if I want to do some activity on the query basis, I can perform that. Like suppose here be getting ID value, okay, and I want to do some activity like if I want to pass here some alert. Like this. What happened? What is the issue? So here what it will come? It will come the ID value. Let's do that. ID equal to 2. Why that error is coming? Okay, got it. Because of this multiple line sentence, we can't pass outside. Now ID equal to 2. Oh, the issue then.
सर आउटसाइड लिख लेना लीजिए सर इफ कंडीशन को प्रोडक्ट को यूज कर ले प्रोडक्ट इक्वल टू
हाँ, हाँ,
इफ
हाँ।
कंडीशन आउटसाइड
यहाँ भी आ जाएगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. Now if a product ID equal to 2, we will get the alert. Let's see. Now see, we are on the ID 2. Go to ID 1, we not get the alert. Now ID 2, we got the alert. So different matching conditions we have to perform that. Means on that basis itself, when we getting that ID, we have to show that we have to display that product or that user data or whatever according to database. We have to perform that task. Now let's go to the documentation. So in query parameter, what we had done, how to send query data or dynamic data through the app routes with a query and route parameters. Okay, we also cover the use of the observables to fetch the data. So first, what already we had seen, with the help of the colon we are passing some value. How to set up the route parameter already we had seen. Then how to send route parameter with the help of the HTML, we was passing that 1 2 with the button and anchor tag. How to access with the help of the activated route dot paramap dot snapshot or subscribe method dot get. Second, using the snapshot, using the observable. Why should use observable? That's already we had seen the differences. So what are the query parameter? How to send the query parameter? How to access the query parameter? Okay, see that this is a send a route parameter. This not become the query parameter. We were sending the route. So let's see that. So what are the route parameter? Route parameter allow us to send the dynamic data. This is the main keyword, dynamic data. Okay, through the route by appending it in the URL as a segment. For example, if we want to send user ID to another component, then we could not do it with the route parameter. So for that, URLs would like something like that: user 1, user 2. We already seen that. Then here we had created one component. Then here whatever set constant array or this all things. So router already we know that how to create it, means how to set up the route. This is the main thing. After that, already we know how to create the navigation bar. This is going to do that, means complete application mini project type. Next, here in the path segment, what we are doing, path, then we are passing the placeholder name. Here we passing placeholder name, correct, with the help of the colon. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so what we doing here, we passing colon slash colon, and then we are passing the placeholder name. Here you can pass anything, ID, name, any product detail, anything. On that basis, we are fetching the data. Second, slash colon placeholder name. This is the unique. If we want to send data to the current component, we simply remove its path before the placeholder. Means if we want to pass the data on the same placeholder, same component itself. So no need to pass this component, but if you want, you can pass as usual. This become the good because this become the habit. Next, employee, then be passing employee ID. Okay, then how to send the route? So route we are sending by this way, path and then parameter. What is the parameter? Parameter is 1 or parameter is 2, like that. And see one thing, anchor tag, and this is the button. How we can pass with the help of button? How we can pass with the help of the route? Through the route, we need to access, then only once we will access, then only we can reuse it, then only it become the useful, otherwise useless. So we do this with the help of the activated route service, okay, which keep tracks currently activated route associated with the load component. Now to use the activated route service, we need to import and inject. Okay, keep in mind one thing, inside the constructor, when we are writing here inside the parenthesis, this is known as the inject. We will discuss this thing in service part also, but that is known as the inject. Okay, so we have to inject, so which will track the currently activated route associated with the loaded component. So whatever component, whatever route will be there with that component, it will get that. And after that, what we had done, once we imported, once we added in the route once we injected in the constructor section, after that Angular add all the route parameter in the param maps object. Okay, it will add all that route in the param map object. After that, which makes easier to work with the parameter. Previously we was using params. Okay, that's why when you putting that dot, we are getting the params also there. Why we using a snap? Only and only we can access only and only initial value of the route. Got it? With a snapshot, it will give the initial value of the route. Keep in mind, when in interview, if they asking what is the use of snapshot and what is the use of observables, then you can tell that in the case of a snapshot, we can get the initial value of the route. Only initial. It will not change, because we had seen that as much time we was clicking, but the value not getting change. But in the route, in the URL section, the value was changing, but on on the UI point, it was not changing the value. After that, what we had done, we done that activated route. After that, we taken this param map, and then we getting that method. Before that, a snapshot also, whether a snapshot or observables. So param map array, and then retrieve the value of the parameter with the help of the get method. Fine. So here, this dot activated route dot snapshot dot param map, and then we got that get ID. That's it. Second, for displaying the data, what we had done, we taken that variables, whatever is there. So same thing. Now when the click on the link button, the parameter will show in the paragraph. The value was not changing. The snapshot property is typically only used when we need an initial value. Suppose if there is requirement that on the page load itself, when page is loading first time, I want the data, I want the value. So that time we can use this snapshot. But you want the data continuously, you can't use the snapshot, because it will give data only at the first moment. Okay, Second moment, it will not give the data. It will keep that data itself. If there is any changes, it will not update. That is the thing, because it does not update after any changes. That's why we gone with the observable, and we can retrieve the value of parameter by subscribing that. Okay, observables value we will get only by subscribing. So observable property of the activated route. Then again, same line of code what we had done. So here observable we had done, and why we had done that? Used when the value is expected to change over time. Like suppose if you subscribing anybody's YouTube channel, what are you getting each time, whenever, per day or each week or each hour, if they uploading something, you getting the value. Or even if you're doing any telecast, video telecast, means continuous data is coming, a streaming of the data. So in that scenario, we have to use the observables. Then why we should use the observable? Next, why we should use the observable? We already discussed this thing. Okay, but this ng on init and this that we will discuss with that life cycle. That time you will get that picture, not an issue. Then second is what is query parameter? As like route parameter, what we had passed, like that itself, there is another query parameter. We will discuss thing later tomorrow. It's not an issue. Let's stop the